very fun job. This is all I do for a living, Glasgow. I travel around the country, I find large groups of people with sort of the same sense of humour as me, and then I tell them jokes for the evening. It's a lovely thing to do. It means I get to go everywhere. Any Irish people in? Oh, a few, not that many. It sounds like the roads in Glasgow are very nearly finished. I was in Dublin recently doing a show, and I was there with a friend hanging out in Dublin for the day. What could be finer? And he dared me to say this at the end of the show. So right at the end of the show, I went, Dublin, I don't know much about Irish politics. That was pretty much their reaction. A couple of thousand people going, I bet you fucking don't, no. I said, I don't know much about it, but he dared me to do it, so I had to say it. I said, I don't know much about Irish politics. I just think we should have one island united. They were on their feet in Dublin. This guy is all right. And then I added, one island united, under British rule. I had a friend, she had a speech impediment. It was quite a severe sort of lispy thing. She was bullied so mercilessly at her job that she left. She's moved down to the coast now to work in the tourism industry. She sells seashells by the seashore. She doesn't like to talk about it. She can't. If you've got a lisp and you're offended by that, phooey. I saw a thing in the paper a couple of months ago. It said, if you're filling in an application form these days, trying to apply for a job or maybe applying for university, something like that, anything where you have to fill in a form, they don't care about your qualifications as much. What they want is someone with a bit of a sense of humour. I thought, well, I could help with that. I think of some funny things you could put in forms. Might help someone out. Is anyone applying for a job or anything like that? Oh, what are you applying for?
Teacher.
To be a teacher? Ooh. I read a thing recently that said that the best teachers, the ones that graduate very top of teacher training, go and teach at special needs schools. I couldn't help thinking, isn't that a bit of a waste? What are they going to get? A better standard of potato painting? Well, this might help if you're getting your CV together, you never know. Education and qualifications, you've got to kick off with that for the CV. I went to boarding school. I was a day boy. At least I think that's what they were shouting. I got a double first at Cambridge. First person to get their balls out in choir practice. First person to be hospitalised by a chaplain. Personal statement. That's an annoying thing. You've got to do a personal statement. Now, you've already filled in a CV and an application form, and then they make you write a little essay about yourself at the end. It's rubbish. Here's my personal statement. You can borrow it if you like. I've got tiny balls. Balls like marbles. Is that personal enough? I shaved them. There, I said it. What do you expect the position you've applied for to involve? Endless meetings, a few months of keeping my head down, a fight with the boss at the Christmas party, a drunken sexual dalliance with a colleague, some sort of harassment tribunal followed by a swift departure. A little bit of realism there, a little bit of truth for you. Hello, how are you? You all right? And where's your beat? East London? You're a community support officer in East London? You're having a fucking laugh. Don't go out there without a gun. Good. Is it fun? Is it? I imagine it's quite a good job, is it?
It's not bad.
It's not bad? It's all right? Well done, you. There's some jokes about coppers coming up. Remember, they don't apply to you because you're not a real one. I always make a bit of an effort. When I'm travelling around the country doing this job, I always make a bit of an effort to do the accent of wherever I am. And I think generally people take that pretty well. They like the fact you've made a bit of an effort. But sometimes people get chippy if you don't get it exactly right. I had a guy come up to me. I was doing a gig in the north of England. And this guy came up to me after the show, quite aggressive. Yeah. He said, all right, kid. I don't think you've got any fucking respect for this town. Try and do the voice. We don't even fucking talk like that. Not bad. I said, no, you've got me all wrong. I love Newcastle. Now, I love my job. I love telling jokes to people, but essentially what I do for a living, I'm a jester, I'm a clown, I'm a fool. Sometimes I want to be taken a bit more seriously, so I'd like to take a 5-minute time out from telling you jokes, and I'd like to throw some ideas at you, some thoughts that I've had, ladies and gentlemen. But to help me with this, I'm going to bring on a trio of jazz musicians. What? I am. Can I get some jazz musicians, please? Thanks very much. Appreciate it. These aren't jokes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to throw some ideas at you, some thoughts that I've had. Right. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, imagine we're sitting in a cafe. on the left banks of the Seine. You know, one of those smoky cafes? We're smoking gauloise, we're drinking absinthe, we're just chatting, shooting the breeze, ladies and gentlemen. Just talking about love and life and ideas, thoughts, yeah? Not just jokes, ideas, yeah? Let's have a little bit of jazz, just to set the mood, yeah? Oh, that's lovely, yeah. Maybe a little bit of atmosphere, so it's like a kind of smoky cafe. You know, a kind of smoky cafe? Yeah, a smoky cafe, not a cafe where there's a chip fat fire. Where did we get the smoke machine from? Duran Duran? I look like Heather Mills sitting too close to the fire. What happens if you spill carpet cleaner? If an amnesiac got Alzheimer's, would they forget they couldn't remember anything? Oh, I applied to be in the police. Any policemen in? Undercover, I see. Well, they've got a great form, the police. What's your greatest personal achievement to date, they ask. I've said I've stolen over £16,000 worth of stationery without once getting caught. What I used to do is I used to take all the post-it notes and pens and pads and ink cartridges and laptops, stuff you're going to nick anyway. Just take it, instead of nicking it in my bag or my coat, what I used to do is get all that stuff, put it in a box, yeah? And then when it was full, take it to the post room and have them deliver it to my house. It was fucking brilliant. Because not only did you get the stuff you were going to steal anyway, you also got kind of a Christmas morning surprise 2 days later. A package for me. Who could have been so kind? It was me. What do you consider your greatest weakness? I demand too much of myself and others. Either that or whores. How much alcohol do you consume over a 7-day period? How do you possibly expect me to remember? I mean, last month, Asda did a 2-for-1 on Malibu. I lost a fortnight. Have you ever misused any illegal substances? Yes. I once accidentally snorted heroin thinking it was cocaine. I'm not proud of that, but it happened. Best to be honest. This is a sad state of affairs, but this is the last question on the police form. Are you a racist or have you ever been a member of the BNP? I've said no, but I'm a fast learner and I'll do anything to get this job. Now, I think the next thing for me, career-wise, ladies and gentlemen, will be doing some sort of interview show where I talk to people, you know, this kind of setup, couple of chairs, you face off against each other, Parkinson, Jonathan Ross, Graham Norton, those kind of shows. That'd be great to get, but you can't just start doing that on TV like day one. That'd be tricky. So what I thought I would do on this tour is practice. Get someone out of the audience every night with an interesting job or a claim to fame and interview them and get a bit of practice with the interviewing. So to that end, does anyone have an interesting job or a claim to fame? Oh, God, your hand's gone straight up. What do you do? You were on TV in Poland. I will take that to mean you work in the adult film business. So you've been on Polish TV. Okay, well, that's a claim to fame. Well done, you. And Polish radio. Well, finally. That's fucking sealed the deal. Okay, any other claims to fame? Interesting jobs? Any others? I mean, it could be from anywhere. You're a priest. Who's a priest? You're a priest. I'm looking at you. I'm thinking you might have had some dealings with priests. Just stand up, just for a second. Just turn around, just so people can see you. See? I mean, Am I being cynical? Or is he definitely not a fucking priest? Any other interesting jobs? What, sorry?
I own my own pizza shop.
You own your own pizza shop? You sound fucking chopper yourself. I own my own pizza shop. You know, there's a massive problem with obesity in this country. You should be fucking ashamed. Pizza, well done. Well done. And you, the best pizza, you say?
Voted best pizza in Britain.
Voted best pizza in Britain by you? Well, what?
Independent pizza.
Best independent pizza. What? I didn't care the first time. You can... Any other unusual jobs or claims to fame?
I'm a funeral director.
You're a what?
Funeral director.
A funeral director? Love. Your voice couldn't go any better with your job. He's fucking dead. How am ya? Dead. It's fucking shit here. Okay, so funeral director, that's interesting. I like that as a job. That's fascinating. Any other interesting jobs? What's your name? Caroline. What do you do, Caroline?
I work in TV.
You work in TV. What do you do in TV? You work on what, sorry? You work on Holby City. Well done, I love it. I love what you've done with Holby City. I think the fucking genius move with Holby City recently was casting Hugh Laurie and changing the location to America. Well done, you.
I applied to work at Starbucks, the posh coffee shop, because I'm in there every day anyway. I thought I might as well. Do you enjoy working as part of a team, they ask. I've said, absolutely. I very much enjoy the workplace team dynamic. It's easier to get away with stuff. Plus, there are those long lunches and the team-building weekends where you get to make a raft and finger each other and that. When was the last time you received great customer service, and why was it so memorable? I was with a wonderful prostitute the other night. Seriously, she had a vagina like a mouse's ear. I imagine that would mean she could hear you coming. Sorry. Where did you hear about this role? You can't just say, Steve told me. You've got to dress it up a bit, so here's my version. Feel free to use it if you need it. Well, I just returned from teaching the Harvard MBA. My wife, Scarlett Johansson, and I were entertaining our good friend Professor Stephen Hawking, who had come to ask my advice on his latest theory concerning the evolution of the universe. He and I were in the library, browsing through my most recent translation of Etruscan hymns into Middle Flemish. When he said, and I'll never forget this, he said, Jimmy, there's a job going at Starbucks and I think you'd be perfect for it. Only he said it in his hilarious Dalek voice. I applied to be in the fire service. They've got a very good form. They asked, what skills do you think you possess that you could bring to the fire service? I've said I'm good at playing pool, sitting on my fat ass, collecting for comic relief, and plumbing. If anything, I'm overqualified. I realise if my house burns down, they'll bring marshmallows. That's fine. They also ask, what's your greatest personal achievement to date? I've said when I was 14, I just managed to suck the very tip of my winky. What, we've all tried? It's no one's proudest moment. Unless, of course, you succeeded, in which case, well done. Well, we have all tried, ladies. You're looking at me like you don't believe me now. Let's do a little sociological experiment. Gentlemen, if you have never tried to fellate yourself, suck yourself off. So I was saying what it meant. I wasn't saying suck yourself off. That wasn't an order. Gentlemen, if you've never tried to fellate yourself, raise your hand now. That's my favourite bit of the show. It's the couples that have clearly been together for a while that I like best. It's the woman initially going... No, he said, put your hand up, he never listens. And then the slow look of realisation. You're optimistic, you can't even touch your fucking toes. It's a brilliant job, this. It's lovely. You spend an hour and a half talking to people, telling them jokes, building up this reservoir of goodwill. But then you're expected just to fuck off. It's a bit weird. With your permission, I'd like to piss away some of that goodwill.
Yeah!
On an unpleasant joke. You know, sometimes I'll tell a joke that's a bit edgy, and I feel as an audience you go, oh, that's a little bit close to the... Go on then, you. What are you like? I'd like to tell one now that'll make you go... Would you like to hear it? Yes! Well, it's a joke about love. Can love conquer all? Or do the practicalities of life get in the way? Well, a great example of this is May to December relationships. Relationships where there's a bit of an age gap. Can love conquer that divide? Or does life get in the way, the practicalities? There's probably as many different opinions as there are people in this room. Here's my opinion, for what it's worth. I think you know a girl is too young for you if you're having to make the aeroplane noise to get your cock in her mouth. Here comes the train into the tunnel.
Why did you leave your previous job? Well, that's tricky to answer. You can't just put embezzling. Said, I needed a new challenge. And after you fucked the boss's wife, where else is there to go? What will you bring to the job? I'll be bringing my sister's kids with me on Tuesday afternoons when she's doing aquarobics. Give an example of when you've used initiative. I've got a couple of different examples for you in case you don't like the first one. There was a fight outside the pub when I was 17 between these two massive tattooed blokes. One of the men was knocked on the pavement unconscious. I seized the opportunity and kicked him in the face. In case you didn't like that, I've got another version for you. I got ID made up saying I'm from the gas board. It's not very convincing, but then pensioners don't have great eyesight. And if she can't see the ID as fake, then does she really need a telly? Describe yourself in 3 words. Smart, dynamic, intelligent, attentive. Do you have any special needs? They ask this on quite a lot of forms now. Do you have any special needs? I've written back, nah, you've got special needs. Note the correct spelling of nah. What's your name, sir?
Daniel.
Daniel. Well, nice to meet you, Daniel. What do you do?
I work at a jeweler's in Coventry.
Unless you're the cleaner, they've made a massive error of judgment. So how long have you been casing this joint? About a year. And when's the big job? This is great. Do I get paid extra if this ends up on Crime Watch?
I saw a headline in the paper. It said, rapist strikes. I thought, what does he want? Better pay conditions? He's outdoors in the park. He's on flexi time. Talk about your job satisfaction. What have we got? Unionised sex offenders now? What do we want? Get in the van. When do we want it? Get in the van.
Does anyone in here work in the medical profession by any chance? Yeah? What do you do?
Ward sister.
You're a what, sorry?
Ward sister.
A ward sister? Well done. That's a great job. I always wanted to work in the medical profession. Wanted to be a doctor.
So did I.
Well, maybe if you'd worked harder. No, ward sisters are perfect. Yeah, it's a great job. It's a brilliant thing. But I always wanted to work in the medical profession because, you know, I liked the lab coat and I thought the stethoscope was cool and I thought chicks would like me. Chicks would like me. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking. But I could never become a doctor because I didn't have the chemistry or the maths or the physics you needed to get in. And also, I'm quite an uncaring person. If someone's sick, I sort of think, fuck them. But I think I found a hospital in South London where I'll be able to get a job. It's the Wandsworth Hospice for Incurable Diseases. How tough could that be? You'd stroll in about 11:30, chat up with a couple of nurses, you know, check what's for lunch. A patient would come up. Can you do anything, doctor? Did you not read the sign? The only thing better than being a doctor, I think, would be to be a vet. I'd love to be a vet. Because vets are like doctors, they're admired in the community. Is there any vets in by any chance? You're a vet. You're a student vet. You have picked a winner. The great thing about being a vet, and you're just a student vet, but the great thing about being a vet is you've got the Joker card you can play. If you absolutely have to be somewhere at 6:30, you can play the Joker card. The big injection. If you can't work out what the problem is, or it's too much bother, whoop, gone. That problem has gone away. The veterinary surgery, the local vets has got an incinerator out the back, for a reason. Because they're busy people. I've never once heard a doctor say, yeah, your 10-year-old boy's had a good innings. He's quite severely asthmatic. You know, we could keep him alive with pills and injections and whatnot, but it's quite expensive and a little bit messy. It'd be much easier if I just put him off to sleep with this. And vets always try and sweeten the deal as well, with the, I could take care of the body for you. Yeah, for £75. It's a spaniel, I live next to a canal. You work it out. Got a strange thing with doctors and nurses, because I really do admire people in the medical community, because I don't have, you know, a god in my life or whatever. So doctors and nurses are like secular gods. They bring us into the world, they let us, you know, take care of us when we're alive and let us die with dignity. It's an extraordinary thing. But I've never asked a doctor or a nurse about that. The only thing I've ever asked a doctor or a nurse about when I've met one, either socially or at a gig, is what's the weirdest thing you've ever pulled out of an arse?
I'm a gynecology nurse, so we don't generally pull out that orifice.
Really? You pulled anything interesting out of the other?
Batteries, balls, pebbles, lots of hair tucks.
Sorry, hang on. Slow down. Batteries, corks, bottle tops, pebbles, tops of hairspray cans. That wasn't all one lady, was it? If it was, do you have a number? She sounds like she'd be up for anything. Wow, that's pretty grisly. I had a story recently from a nurse about, she said the weirdest thing she ever pulled out of an arse was a vibrator. That's pretty plain vanilla, it's where they're meant to go. She said the funny thing about it was when they x-rayed him, it was still vibrating. That's awful, isn't it? For many reasons. I imagine the poor guy doing the x-ray was hitting the machine going, this thing's on the fritz again, he's standing there. What an agonising wait in A&E, though. Excuse me, sir, could you turn off your mobile phone? It's not a mobile phone. Well, what is it? I've got a prosthetic cock vibrating my arse. As you were.
I think we should talk to the funeral. Should we talk to the funeral director? Funeral director, what are the chances of you getting down here? Don't fucking jump or we'll have to bury you. But if you can make your way down to here, then we could talk to funeral director. That sounds exciting. While he's making his way down, yeah, give him a smattering. He's making his way. While he's making his way down, because it's a big old venue, he'd take a minute. Any other claims to fame in the room? Any other exciting? You're a what?
Paleontologist.
You're a paleontologist in Birmingham. Just in case any dinosaurs... It's dinosaur bones, yes? And you look at those? Not just dinosaurs? What, have you got another part-time job in Asda, have you? What else do you look at? Different fossils. Wow. I'm sure paleontology, I'm sure that's a brilliant, wonderful scientific thing to do, but I did a project on dinosaurs when I was 6, and I loved it. I was very excited, and I did lots of pictures, and I stuck them in, and I did a whole project on dinosaurs, and I loved them. And then what I did, and this is an interesting note to you, I grew up. I'm still doing my dinosaur book. I like it. Well, I'll indulge you. What's your favourite dinosaur?
A velociraptor.
A velociraptor, because of Jurassic Park. Oh, but you might as well have said Barney. Grow up. Where the fuck is this undertaker gone? I'm slightly worried that there's been a death in the village and he's been called away. Where the fuck is he? Where the fucking hell did you come from? Come and say hello. You're a funeral director. Hello, how are you? Very nice to meet you, sir. Come and say hello. Right, how are you, sir? Have a sit down.
I'm all right.
What's your... Sorry. How am ya?
Am I too bad, me old booker?
Okay, you're not a gangster rapper, so just hold that like a... hold that like a normal human being. Okay. What's your name? I didn't even get your name.
John.
John. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll set this up properly. Hello, my name's Jimmy Carr. I'm joined this evening by John, the funeral director from Birmingham. John, tell us then, what does your average day involve?
Making coffins and doing funerals and...
Doing funerals,
Yeah,
making coffins.
yeah. Collecting deceased.
I'm slightly terrified by you. How do you... So you collect the body, so in a hearse or in just the back of a transit?
In a private ambulance. Sort of like a transit, but a bit more sophisticated. A bit more sophisticated.
When you
than
say a
that.
private ambulance, is it just a transit with ambulance written on it in pen? In dirt?
Not really, no, not quite like that.
Okay, so you go and collect them from the... So you have to turn up all kind of, in a black suit and stuff, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wearing this, so nobody recognises me.
They're not going to recognise you anyway, because they're dead. They probably...
I can't believe I'm here with you, nice one. This is unreal, man.
Must be lovely to meet someone who's still breathing. Lovely fucking change for you. Do you get involved in the embalming?
Not so much now. When I first started, I had a bit of, I had to help out with the grim stuff, but not so much now. I've been doing it years.
Sorry, so not so much now?
No.
It sounds like there was an incident that stopped you from doing it.
No.
Sounds like they went, hang on, get away from that. That's not for eating.
No, I tend not to do much with the bodies anymore. Like, if that's the right thing to say.
You don't do so much with the bodies now?
No. I'm more to do with coffins and funerals and...
Now, you work in this industry. Is there any... Now, necrophilia is something that's talked about. I'm only asking. Because people think they're going to get away with it, but ultimately, they'll get caught because some rotten cunt will split on them. It's my necrophilia joke, everyone. You're welcome.
Well, I've been caught yet.
You haven't been caught yet. Do you want to hear my favourite, funeral joke? Well, not undertaker joke. I don't know if this is, based on a true thing, but you might know this even. They're an old lady, beautiful, nice old lady, and her husband's died. And she goes to the funeral parlour where you would work on it, and she's talking to the guy that does your job, and she says, he's beautifully laid out. She said, that classic sort of thing, he's never looked better. He looks lovely, but I wanted him to be in his blue suit, and you've got him in his brown suit. Could you put him in his blue suit, not his brown suit? And the guy says, not a problem, madam. And then leans out the door and goes, change the heads on 2 and 4. Because presumably, once you're burying them, do things get stolen? Because people get buried with jewellery and stuff, do things?
No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that. It's a nice watch, man. Just... And what, you live in Birmingham?
Well, Craigleaf, just outside Birmingham. Black country. In the black country.
Racist. What's that? That's an interesting thing. How did you get into it? How did you get into being a...
I did it from a work experience when I was at school.
You did your work experience.
Yeah.
It sounds like you turned up to that meeting late. What's left, sir? Well, you're going to be working with corpses. That's quite a cool thing, though, isn't it?
Sure.
Has anyone ever woken up? Because you hear stories about something to do with fluids in the spine. You hear stories about people kind of bolt upright.
Oh, no, never, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Nothing like that. You just position them how you want, you're away. John, well, look, you've come up and shared a bit about what you do, and I think that's an interesting thing to do. It's a life less ordinary work as a funeral director with the kind of corpses and things and death. You've got to deal with it. Hard part of life, but whatever. I feel like I should give something back. And the thing that I'm good at is writing jokes. I'm good at doing sort of one-liners. So I'd like to do a joke for you about it's sort of like my party piece, John. It's what I can do. What I can offer the world is jokes. So what would you like a joke about? Could be anything at all. Could be funeral directing, could be getting married, could be anything you want. Anything at all. I will write a joke from like off the top of my head, just really quick.
Drum and bass music.
Why did the lion get lost in the forest?
I don't know.
Because jungle is massive.
Yes! Black, black, black.
I think that was too easy. I think that was too easy a thing. So why don't we go for something else? Go for something more difficult. Anything at all. Can be as abstract as you want.
Motorbikes.
All right, okay. Okay, so two motorcycle guys, like bikers, like Hell's Angel bikers, right? Two guys, massive bikes. Okay. Walk into a bar. They're all in the Harley Davidson kit, or whatever, helmets on. Walk into a bar. Barman sees him coming. The barman goes, "Drinks, gentlemen?" And the bikers go, "Cheese and onion crisps." Because there's two of them. There's two of them. That's pretty good, isn't it? And now I should, let me just John, this isn't like a set-up thing. I don't know you, right? So like, off the top of my head, you said bikers. You could have said anything, or motorbikes, and I did bikers. And off the top, and two of them, and then...
Brilliant.
John, everyone, give him a round of applause. John, thank you so much. Really appreciate coming up, man. Thank you so much. Hey, you want to go back? You can go around that way. Thanks, man. John, everyone. Oh. Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr, and I'm announcing a new tour. It's called Jimmy Carr Laughs Funny. And if you like me, it's the kind of thing you like. And if you don't like me, then why are you watching this?